cockroaches, and beautiful butterflies. My name is Peridiam, and Mom always said there'd be days like this. Indeed, that day is today. As of today, it is another finale of another season of Big Brother, and what a better way to celebrate than to recall some of the worst jury Q&A roundtable sessions of all time. Because managing the jury is in vogue, well, since 2001 anyway, I figure it's about time we talk about it. In this video, I will go over what I believe are the top 5 worst jury Q&A performances in all of Big Brother. In fact, I want to let you guys know right now, I'm actually going to make this a top 6. I'm cheating, I know. And I will give what I believe was the worst Big Brother Canada jury Q&A performance, as well as my top 5 for Big Brother US. So let's get into it. Here's my number 5. I took out the Puppet Master all by myself. You talk about Dan, Will, Derek, and Erica from Big Brother All-Stars. Indeed, if Dr. Will was one of the greatest and Dr. Will gets taken out by Erica, doesn't that mean Erica is greater than Will? He did say she was the person he feared the most. Except that her jury Q&A was really bad. There's something to be said about losing jury votes, and then, likely in Erica's case, probably never having them in the first place. But then cementing never having them isn't really moving the needle, is it? Chicken George asked her why she lied and betrayed him needlessly, and her response is similar to the problems that future entrants in this video will demonstrate. She doesn't connect with the juror at all. She then bombs Janelle's answer, though I think Janelle was never going to vote for her anyway. She tells James she had to play a floater game because she didn't have anyone else, but in All-Stars, the term floater was not really a good thing. She asks for James's respect, but she never explains why she should be respected. She tells the jury that she had no strategy, not sure about the strategy there, going into the game, and the only thing that she wanted to do was to get Dr. Will out. And then she did that at the final 4, but it comes across very weak-willed, like she fell backwards into a position that carried her to the end. Here's the thing, on paper, Erica should have a decent resume to tout. There's a reason that she was close to winning the game twice, but she's a terrible salesperson. When you are the only person to ever take out Dr. Will in all of Big Brother, you punctuate that point with underline, bold, and all caps, period. It wasn't meant to be.
Would you rather give the Big Brother All-Star crown to the person who did all his dirty work, or would you rather give the All-Star crown to the person who took him out?
Congratulations with both works. You are the winner of Big Brother All-Stars.
Number 4, I give you myself, my whole self, and nothing but myself. Amusingly, that one line could apply to several candidates for this top 5, but in this case, I am giving number 4 to Memphis from Big Brother 10. While not a bad player all in all, I would say that his Q&A while sitting next to Dan was atrocious. I'm not sure if it's just being next to Dan that made him look really bad, but I suspect it wasn't when he whiffs so hard on the question from Rennie about naming one thing he did for her in the game at any point in time. Literally any point. Memphis, you and Rennie were in an alliance for like half the season. Just say that. Instead, he says this.
I think if I did anything for you, I gave you at least myself and me.
Similar to Erica, here is the problem. Memphis has no charisma in his Q&A performance. There is no fire in him, no passion. Keisha wants to know if he has any remorse for cutting her, and he's like, you won't understand now. Dude, this is your chance to have her understand so she will vote for you to win $500,000. If there's one thing to take away from his performance in this Q&A, it's not to be so monotone, so detached. I'm sure he means what he says, but the jury did not connect with his answers at all, oftentimes looking to the side, scoffing, or making faces like Keisha's seen here. Number 3, I mean, the guy sitting next to me did a great job, but I did a pretty good job too, right? I think that's worth something. Maybe? Do I sound sincere at all with my inflection? Number 3 is Lane from Big Brother 12, who lost to Hayden in a shockingly close 4-3 vote. It's kind of baffling that Hayden almost lost here, and I don't think it's a reflection on how poor Lane's performance was that he managed to scrounge up 3 votes. My biggest problem with Lane was that he never once sounds sincere. He has this way of coming across kind of like a cartoon character at all times, and I can't tell if he ever means what he says. This tone of voice that he uses in his speech, it lends itself to not sounding like he knows what he's talking about, and oftentimes he undersells himself, which only served to make Hayden look way more confident and the better player. Also, he gets asked twice in this segment whether he would take Brittany over the Brigade to the final 2, and he dodges the answer both times. Even Julie Chen calls him out on it.
You didn't really answer the question.
Yeah, I kind of went around.
We want a name.
It would be a Brigade member. Duh, I'm 100% loyal to a Brigade.
Not 100.
He doesn't sound sincere in the slightest, and I gotta feel like if he at least took the situation a little more serious, maybe he would get one more vote. I get the idea of leaning on humor to win people over, but Lane became a deliberate exaggeration. He kind of became a parody. Number 2, highly underrated and usually forgotten. Just like my proclamation for who the worst BB player of all time is, so goes one of the worst jury Q&A performances. Give it up for Ryan from Big Brother 9. Yeah, Peridiam, I didn't really watch that season. Sorry. It's cool, I don't blame you. Ryan seemed like the guy who was going to win, so when he didn't, it was pretty dang shocking. But then I rewatched the tapes, and it's no surprise. The jury did not respect him, and I think their response to his answers clearly reflect that here. For example, they ask him, "What are you gonna do with the money, Ryan?" He actually gives an okay answer. He's gonna help his family, his mom, his girlfriend, but then he ends it by saying, "Oh yeah, and maybe donate it to some charity." Like, what?
I definitely would look to, put some money towards a charity. Make some good out of my money that, that's it.
That was the worst answer ever.
Dude, don't undercut your sincerity to try and look like the good guy. Just be the good guy. Or just be a regular person. Don't be that guy. Sharon is like, "Why did you evict me, Ryan? Why the heck did you do that?" And par for the course, he can barely put a sentence together, tripping over his own words, all while coming across just very weak. Sharon throws her arms in the air in disbelief. Chelsea straight up says Ryan gave the wrong answer to her question. And fair enough, she didn't vote for him in the end. Ryan he's flustered, his nerves are racked, and he kind of just turns into a puddle of nothing by the end. His final words have no personal touch. They are so empty and generic. He just says he's thankful to be there. If he doesn't win, so be it. It is what it is. Whatever. I'm done. Number 1, you cockroaches. All of yous. Number 1, didn't take much convincing and probably wasn't much of a surprise. It is Gina Marie from Big Brother 15. Where do I start? So Amanda opens the Q&A by asking Gina Marie, other than getting me out, what was your next biggest move? She literally takes 20 seconds, I timed it, and then she says, it was getting Amanda out. I know you can't see me right now, but my face is on my desk. Amanda is not pleased with this answer. Helen asks her what her biggest obstacle in the game was, and Gina Marie says it was losing Nick in week 2. Nick in week 2, the guy she had a crush on, but she thinks she'll be able to recover. McCrae, buddy, you and me both, man. Candace asked her straight up, why should they vote for her? Gina Marie says it'll make all of her dreams come true, with a lot of other words in the mix. Here's the problem. Beyond everything else, Gina Marie sounds like someone who's talking but doesn't really know how to talk to an audience. She's nervous, of course, I get it, but the sentences that she produces are all garbled. She's trying to say several things at once, and ultimately, very little of it is coherent, which then means almost none of it has any weight to it. It's like she's reading from a teleprompter written by a first grader who is trying to write a thank you card to their grandma. No comprende.
I'm only me. I'm Gina Marie, and if there's any way I defended anyone, I'm sorry. I just wish you all the best of luck, and with your families, with any careers and any jobs and all your families, and I thank you for sharing your lives.
Okay.
So that's going to be the top 5 worst Q&A jury performances in Big Brother history. But before I end this beautiful train wreck, let's get to one of my favorites of all time. Not that Gina Marie isn't already there, but I want to talk about Big Brother Canada, particularly Big Brother Canada 4. If you haven't seen this season, spoiler warning right now. Nick and Phil, the Pax Bros, you guys, I know you won this season and all, but that jury performance was easily one of the worst of all time, and definitely the worst in Big Brother Canada. I will say that Nick does a decent job carrying the duo. His first answer to Maddie isn't so bad, actually explaining why the brothers being a duo had some difficulties. Maddie doesn't really like his answer, but I do think there's something to his words. Nikki gets up and lightheartedly asks them how they felt about evicting her. Phil pulls out a British flag and starts waving it, which was very cheeky, Phil. And I love the showmanship, but then he starts talking, and it's just, Phil? Phil actually doesn't even form a sentence. He tries to put several together, and then he gives up and just says, I love you. Let's get drunk later. Cassandra wants to get a simple answer from them. She wants to know the best lie that the Pax Bros told in the game. But what does Phil do? He stands up, and he earnestly says, I didn't lie. Okay, fine, I hear you. But then he goes on to say he was just selective with his wording. He's not even joking about this. Phil, that is such a bad answer. Cass is like, should I repeat the question, or do you think I'm buying this BS? I'm starting to see why this twist was a disadvantage after all. And then lastly, Tim asked the bros what Kelsey, the other finalist, did better than them. Phil is like, oh, I got this, bro. And he begins to rattle off a ton of things that she did better. And Tim is like, guys, WTF, do you want me to vote for you? Suffices to say, Phil, never be a politician. And yet, despite that hot mess of question after question and terrible answer after terrible answer, they still win the season 7-2. Probably says a lot about how much of an impact these segments have on the final vote. So that is where I'm at. The top 5 or 6 worst jury Q&A performances in Big Brother. Can these be topped? I can't wait to find out. Let me know if there's any more dishonorable mentions, but either way, my name is still Peridiam. I'm saying thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget how to speak in complete sentences on your way out, and I will see you in the next one. Once I love all of yous, and there's something special in each one of yous to me, and I can tell this means a lot for each of us and my family, and you're all welcome to my house for Thanksgiving when all's said and done. Boom! Cockroach out.
What percentage of the money will you give to charities, and what charities?
You know, Bunky, I don't want to mislead you. Percentage of money that's going to go to charities, I'm looking at none.